to Bestgen. Good morning, everyone. Today I speak to you just as a mom. I'm not representing the organization, it's just a mom today. Many of you watched me cry for 3 years after my son died. Many of you even told me I needed to be on medication for depression, but I was not depressed. My heart was shattered. I refused to go on medications because I had made a promise to my son. On May 14, 2011, my son took my hand following the activation ceremony in Pier for the 200th Engineer Company. He said, "Mom, I'm going to need you to do one thing for me. You're going to have to be strong. I need you to be strong. Can you do that for me?" I promised Dennis that I would. When I left that event that day, I knew it was the last day that I would see Dennis alive. Many of us that have lost a loved one say that they had a premonition, and I just knew that that was the last day. And so I promised that no matter what, I would keep his memory alive and be strong. Dennis was killed in a bridging accident 3 months later on August 16, 2011. During those 3 years when you watched me cry, I had a flash of a scene from Saving Private Ryan. Remember the mom standing at the kitchen sink watching the black cars come up her driveway. And then I had it struck in my heart that all those moms before me, they didn't have a pill. And there was no pill that's going to cure this ill because the pain is just too deep. So I decided that no matter how long it took and what it took, there was not going to be any pills, and if they could do it, I could do it. 6 years ago in August, I was in the rotunda behind me, receiving my son's flag, a broken, crushed soul. Losing my son blew my candle out. And all along that journey, I just kept aiming at the goal of fulfilling my promise to Dennis to be strong. I told Chaplain Wilson the day Dennis died that God has been grooming me my whole life for this very moment. Everything I have ever done, work, school, radio, newspaper, marketing, tourism, how I was raised, how I raised my kids, what it was to be a patriot. It was all coming full circle right now. God is sending me on a mission. I don't know what that mission is, but it will unveil itself and I will know. The past 6 years has been a blur of missions, because when one ends, a new one begins. It's always evolving. And recently, the one thing that has been really haunting me is a letter that my son wrote 6 weeks before he died. And with what's going on in our world right now, I can't think of a more appropriate time to share the notes that he wrote 6 weeks before he died. And I did run this by a few people to make sure that it was appropriate for today, and I was given the thumbs up. So I will close with Dennis's letter, but before I do, and I read that to you, I just want to thank all of you who have stood beside me, held me up when my knees buckled, and smacked me when I needed a wake up from a dark place, Joanne. And as part of my promise to him, in the timeliness of his words, I share with you now the letter my son wrote, Specialist Dennis Gregory Jensen, on July 1st, 2011. It's titled, A Young Man. Is it odd that a young man who grew up being taught rights and beliefs that founded this country doesn't really believe in the country he's fighting for, that he doesn't believe in his government anymore, who has no faith in the justice system of the people he works for, the politicians, senators, Republicans, or Democrats, that he believes his country cares more about itself than its people, its soldiers, its continuation as a free country. He believes the general public is afraid to stand up for its rights and its freedoms that country was founded on, that every man, woman, and child should have, without being afraid of their rights being infringed based on which party they vote for, who looks back at photos of happiness and proudness and wonders, was it all a lie? Is there any reason for the basis of his pride, for the love of his country, for the thoughts about what he has known growing up? He wonders if the people will make a good decision and try to turn the country around. He wonders if people really realize what is happening in the government, what is happening in the world. Is this wrong? Sincerely, a soldier who loves his country and what it really meant to be a soldier. Thank you.